Hey guys, welcome back to another art video. We're on episode 5 of Toon Graphics. Keep watching, keep learning, you're doing a great job. Alright guys, in this episode we're going to talk about setting a scene. You can't set a scene without having props. So anytime you're looking around you, try to draw something, whether it be a couch, a car, a chair, person, computer, whatever, desk lamp, whatever happens to be around you. The more you practice drawing these things, the better you get at them. And of course, they don't have to look identical to what's going on. It's not a photograph. Clearly, we don't have any cars that look like that running around, or even this one. They look kind of vintage and old school cartoon, really. So draw as best as you can and try to draw them. That's what you're about here, is doing your best and trying your best. I'm going to flip the page to more settings, all right? So in setting the scene, we got to talk about a couple different main things. Number one, perspective of that scene. So this might be a little in-depth for some of you out there with 1-point perspective and 2-point perspective, but in order to understand how perspective works, we have to understand that things that are farther away from us, they get smaller, or at least appear smaller. So up in this top scene here, you're gonna see that she's here, right up close, nice and big, and things get smaller as they get farther away from her. So for example, that tree clearly should be way bigger than her, but it doesn't look bigger than her in this picture. That's because it's farther away in the distance. So things that get farther away get smaller. And in this little drawing, they say draw what's in front first, then what's in the back. The background needs few details. So they're basically saying put all the details in the front. You want all the attention to be up front, and the background is just something off there in the distance, filling the space. Now, talking about this 1-point perspective kind of deal, we're going to talk about where it can be put and how it can be used. So this 1-point perspective means everything goes to that single point off in the distance, far, far away on the horizon line. And right here, they're showing the horizon line kind of middle of this person. And this one, they're showing it at eye level. And this one, it's above the head. Another thing to understand about perspective and your horizon, your horizon actually operates as your eye level, which means anything above your eye level or above the horizon line, you're looking up at it. Anything below it, you're looking down at it. It's just a small little thing you have to think about and understand, but the more you know it, the more you know. Perspective drawing shows how things appear from one point of view. Okay, so this guy's looking from his eye level. Things are right down the middle in this picture. And this 2.1, not going to talk a lot about it. We use 2-point perspective to draw a lot of types of buildings. It really does help in drawing buildings because you get that view that it looks like it's really sitting in front of you. And we use 1-point perspective in interior rooms a lot of times because it shows how the walls look like or appear to go up at an angle, but it's actually coming closer to you, and the wall in the far distant is actually a little bit farther away. So it's a way of setting up a scene, like how to draw inside of a room, how to draw a city street or things outside and looking at these buildings, even looking at these trees up here, how they get smaller as you get farther back in the distance to that little vanishing point right there. We're talking about setting this scene and understanding how to set it up. In that said scene, we got these other things that we can use as well. I like to look at this diagram down here. It kind of shows different ways of establishing a setting. So right here, first thing is, it says, where are we? And it's just nothing but her head. And it gets a little bit bigger, or the same size, but different scene going on. We're in a car in the city, leaving the city. See how it just got bigger with more things going on? I mean, this huge scene here, and their tiny little car just got smaller and smaller. They got smaller, and it says, enjoy the beautiful view. So they're really focused on you seeing this entire view rather than this one little person enjoying the view. So it's about understanding how to use words a little bit too, but really setting the scene, how to draw your scene. Drawing a mother and child. The child should always be smaller than mother, most likely. Sometimes you want someone being taller and shorter. These help describe what someone looks like just by how they're drawn. Contrast and scale. The big monster with small buildings makes that monster seem that much bigger, especially chasing after that tiny little child. So we're trying to set the scene, and what that means for you is understanding how to draw a box with that scene in it, whether it be a beautiful landscape, someone talking, someone in a room, someone outside. It's all understanding where those scenes and how they can work. Try to draw a couple scenes. Maybe it's you drawing this one here. Maybe it's you trying to learn how to do this 1-point perspective interior room. That's what I'm gonna have my kids do at school. And you could try that too at home. Put a dot in the middle of your paper off to one side maybe, and just draw lines that go up to the corners of your paper. If you go up to the corner of your paper, then you can draw these square lines here, perpendicular ones. It makes it look like the back of the room. Okay? Try to draw something like that. That's what we're going to try to work on in the classroom, understanding that simple 1-point perspective a little bit and how we can use that space to create that scene. So, working on scene, I know you can make a scene and it'll be awesome. It'll be wonderful. It'll be just like any other drawing you've ever done, just better understanding of what's going on. So good luck. Draw a couple cool scenes that you might want to use in your cartoon strip someday. And I know you'll enjoy this. So keep trying, keep working hard. Good things are happening. Thanks for watching. Hey guys, I thought it'd be kind of fun to come in here and show you how to do that little 1-point perspective thing, interior room. And I'm just gonna draw a small dot here. It's not directly in the middle of my paper. I put it off to one side just a little bit, just because maybe you'll see it later on. It creates an interesting look to what's going on. So I'm literally just lining that dot up. I'll draw a nice line that goes to the corners of my paper. It's always best to put your pencil on that dot, rotate your ruler to the edge of your paper, the corner I mean, then run your line. Makes it a little bit easier trying to line up those two areas. So you have lines going to each of the corners. But I can pick a spot anywhere I want. I'm gonna say I'm gonna put a line right here. And this is key. Pay attention to this. Make sure your ruler is parallel to the edge of your paper. If it's not, your lines won't completely line up when you get all the way back around the other side. Parallel to the edge of your paper. I can look at it right here. That looks pretty close anyway. So I'm gonna go with that one. So I'm gonna put my line right there then. There's one line. My ruler moved a bit on me. Oh well. But I'll do the same here. Connect where I was. Make sure I'm parallel to the edge of my paper and draw that line up. Continue to work my way around. All right. That's parallel to the edge of my paper. Now if I did it right, I hope I did. Now if I did it right, these should line up pretty darn close. Let's see here. It's a little bit off maybe. That happens. It's really close. Look how close that was. Hold that down nice and tight. Now I've got my other wall in there. So I can erase these lines. I can erase these lines here. And now it's gonna look like I'm in somebody's room, living room, dining room, a kitchen, whatever room you want it to be. Wherever your scene happens to be. And there you have your interior space wall, a ceiling, 2 more walls, and a floor, where you can put anything you want in there. Anything at all. Maybe that little vanishing point. Maybe I'm gonna hang a picture up in there. Who knows? Maybe there's a wonderful little tree on there. The fence that runs through. Whatever you want it to be. That's how you draw a 1-point perspective interior space or room. And that should help you make your drawing at home.